Onision is at it again! And I'm here again! Because you know what? People have been watching these Onision videos I've been making, and I figured, you know what? If people like them, I'll make more of them. They're not hard for me to make, and I get to say some things that I want to say. So, here we go. So Onision made a couple of videos. I'm falling apart. I'm sorry, ellipses somewhere in that title. And the second one called Why Onision Get a Job, in quotation marks. I'm mostly focusing on the second video, but I probably will reference the first video. Basically, these two videos are just clearing up some details and providing some more information about his IRS audit and why he doesn't get a career or whatever. So I just have a list here of stuff I wrote down while watching this video, of just stuff I want to comment on. So let's just get straight into it, you guys. So let's not beat around the bush. So let's get straight. Alright, so he has a puppy in the video, and the first thing he comments in this video is, he has a puppy, and he's just like, oh, well, you know, we got this puppy because we traded our 2 guinea pigs for it. And this got me thinking, and I was just like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Financially, it makes more sense to have 2 guinea pigs than a puppy, because a puppy costs way more than 2 guinea pigs. Unless you have the 2 most expensive guinea pigs on the planet, there's no way that puppy costs more. There's just no way. I mean, unless it's the one, like I said, one of the most expensive 2 guinea pigs ever. And he says, you know, we already have 2 dogs. We're already buying dog food. But a puppy still costs more than 2 fully grown dogs to take care of, because puppies are fragile and they get sick like every single week. So you have to take them to the vet every week because it's like, oh, the thing accidentally sniffed some grass that was wrong. I guess it has the flu now. Or, oh, you know, it accidentally walked on the wrong side of its paw and now it's bleeding internally. They're fragile little things. And this is a weird thing that he mentioned, but he mentioned there's people that we are parenting that wanted puppies. It's like he doesn't want to say kids. Just say your kids. Just say that your kids wanted the puppy. I mean, that's not really I'm not really arguing his point. I just found it a little weird that, like, why don't you just say kids? Your kids wanted a puppy. Why do you have to say, like, the people who we are parenting? It's just like, just say your kids. We know you have kids. All right, so his first thing he says is, you know, why he says, you know, people have been telling me get a job. And here's the thing. I'm not using this voice to, like, make fun of him. I'm just using this for clarification. The thing is, a job typically is something, like, he defines what a job is. Like, dude, I know what a job is. I'm not stupid. I'm aware of what a job is. Most people would be aware of what a job is. It's pretty much built and, like stoned into our memory of what a job is. You don't have to be condescending and explain to your fans what a job is. I mean, most of them are like 13 or 14, so I mean, I guess they've never had a job before, a lot of them, or a full-time job, that is. So maybe they don't know what a job is, but still, when I was in freshman year, I knew what a job was. I could grasp that concept. He also mentions that the reason why people, you know, comment these things are just because they want attention, but wanting attention but not paying attention is silly. Okay, and here's the thing. Yeah, everyone who posts comments is trying to get attention on YouTube. That's how the things work. Everybody is just doing that on YouTube. Why am I doing this? Because it gets people's attention, and people tend to like it. And you know what? More happy people, better happy world. But I don't want to say 99%, but a good portion of why anyone does anything on YouTube is for attention, for some sort of outreach. I mean, I guess I'm doing this to get people's attention, and I guess so they can agree with it and be like, huh, that's a cool, interesting viewpoint. But still, yeah, people are doing it for attention. That's what your fans are doing when they comment nice things in your videos, like, oh, Onision, I love your content, you made me stop cutting myself, I'm not overweight anymore, LOL, emoji, send. Okay, still, those people are just looking for your attention and your approval, Onision. Just because they're commenting nice things does not mean they're not looking for attention. And this is a little bit off topic, but the fans who do send him a lot of those, like, oh, you made me stop cutting myself, LOL, JK, not JK, emoji comments. Okay, a lot of those people, and I don't mean they literally type that comment, because at that point you would know it's fake, or from someone who's stupid. A lot of those people could be lying, Onision. And a lot of them could be lying because they just want your attention. And they just want to be like, they just want to get you any kind of comment or any kind of reply they can from you, just so they can have the approval of, like, their idol, Onision. You know, like, come on. And he also mentions, what do I put on my resume? I've been a video maker for 9 years. It's your fault, dude. That's your fault for making YouTube videos for the past 9 years and making this your career for the better part of a decade. That's not your fans' fault. That's no one's issue but your own. You did that to yourself. It's not like you couldn't go out in that 9-year period and get a part-time job, then not really help with your income, because it seemed like you were doing fine with that in the past few years. But, gain some other life experiences and gain some other abilities just in case the whole YouTube thing went down. You could go to that part-time job, like, I don't know, let's say you were a mechanic part-time. I don't really know if you're good with cars, but let's say that. And you could be like, well, I had a part-time job as a mechanic. YouTube is failing me. I guess I'll just be a mechanic full-time. I have the part-time experience to do it. Let's see what else. He says, oh, I work, 7 to 10 hours a day, every day. I don't get days off. Once again, that's your fault. You set your own schedule. You decided to release a video nearly every day across 3 or 4 different channels. You put yourself in a situation in which you want to release that many videos. No one is asking you to do that every day. Your fans would like it, but you don't really have to do that. To please them, yeah, you do, but you still decided to do that and thus became the standard. You set the standard, don't complain about the standard. And also, you love what you do. It can't be that hard to do something 7 to 10 hours a day every single day that you love doing, like making YouTube videos. Like, I'm sorry, but most people don't enjoy what they do for a living. A lot of people hate their job, and you getting to love what you do for nearly a decade and doing a lot of it can't really be all that bad now, can it? It's kind of awesome if I got to do something I love every day for 10 years, but I had to do it 7 to 10 hours a day every day. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, awesome. I mean, the pay's great. He was getting paid great for the better part of 10 years at least. He also says, you have your weekends. Someone tells you what to do and you get to go to your job. Okay, yeah. It must be so easy for people who work, I don't know, construction 5 days a week to go work for 8 hours and then come home tired and at least get their Saturdays and Sundays off. It must be, at least they get their weekends off, though. Yeah, it's great that they get their weekends off. But the reason they get their weekends off is because they're doing jobs that are significantly more difficult to do every single day. You're doing YouTube every day because you physically are able to. People physically would not be able to do, like, construction or even waiting tables 8 hours a day every single day. The reason why people get days off is because there's laws in place so people don't fucking blow their brains out from exhaustion every single week. Because if they worked 8 hours every single day doing something that was exhausting and that they didn't enjoy, then they would go insane. I would go insane if I had to do my job 8 hours a day and something I didn't want to do. You get to do something you love, thus you're able to do 8 hours of it every single day with no days off, okay? Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, and he also mentions that, like, a manager tells you what to do, and, it's, at least you get to have that. Yeah, it must be so difficult to get to work from your house and be your own manager and make your own hours and getting to decide what you get to do every day and running a business. And it must be so difficult to be your own person and have your own business and make your own hours and get to work in bed and edit around and hang around your family and not have to worry about what's going to happen the next day, because you can decide what happens the next day. Yeah, it must be so difficult working for yourself and being your own boss, Greg. He also says, my skill set is narrow. Okay, the reason, once again, that's your own fault, again. And the reason why your skill set is narrow is, I mentioned this before, but you didn't get a part-time job in that 10-year period that you were making videos, or that you have been making videos for. In that case, you're kind of an idiot for doing that. I really don't understand why you, or even Lainey, couldn't just get a part-time job in that 10-year period in order to have a fallback or something you could go to in case YouTube went, like, crazy, which it has. It has gone insane. And having a part-time job outside of YouTube would probably help with making YouTube videos, because you gain a better perspective of the world in that way. Because when you work YouTube every day for 10 years straight, you begin to lose focus of the wider world, because your mindset and your bubble is just YouTube and social media. You begin to lose focus of what the real world is. And that's not to say the internet isn't a real place and that it's not a real job, but if you worked any job at all, 8 hours a day, every day, and you only do that job, you do lose focus of the wider world. This happens to a lot of people. A lot of people begin to lose focus of reality and the wider scope of things because they only do one thing all the time. You need to get out there. You need to get inspiration. You need to get some creativity from other spots. You can't do the same thing all the time and expect that to work for you. So that's why a lot of YouTubers, that's one reason why a lot of YouTubers have second jobs outside of YouTube, part-time jobs that is, because they need that experience in that kind of world view, so they can always maintain like, okay, there's the YouTube world and there's the real world. Having a good grasp of both of those helps, benefit both of them. Having a YouTube career helps the real world, and having a real world job, I say real world job as in like outside of your house and outside of YouTube, helps with the YouTube job. They coexist and they fuel each other and they help out. One of my favorite YouTubers is Mark from Fanboy Flicks. He makes maybe one video every month, 2 if we're lucky, his fans that is. And you know what? Sure, I would like it if he did more, but he has such quality in all of his videos and such production, and he has such cool viewpoints and funny comments and things to say in all of his videos because he has a large world view. He gets out there. He has a full-time job that he does outside of YouTube. I think he's like a real estate photographer or something like that. So he has a cool, like, different viewpoint on a lot of things because he's lived a different life. This is another thing. And this is off script. I say script loosely. Why isn't Laney-Bot, why doesn't she get out there and do something? I mean, she's a mother, so I guess that's a full-time job, but you work at home, Greg. It's not like you can't watch the kids a lot of the time, and she doesn't seem to have a full-time job from what I know, at least. Correct me if I'm wrong. So why doesn't she just be a waiter? That could help. That could bring in a little extra money every month. And you mentioned a lot of the financial struggle isn't that you don't have enough money, it's that you don't... It's this whole audit thing with the IRS. Which, once again, your fault. You put yourself in that situation, so don't whine about it because you did it to yourself, and I don't think your 14-year-old fans care or know what audits are. They don't fully grasp it. And that's not to insult 14-year-olds. I was 14 at some point. And you bought a Tesla for work purposes. I have a hard time believing that's honest, that you only use that Tesla for business purposes, or at least more than 50% of it was used for business purposes. I have a hard time believing that. I also have a hard time believing that you bought an entire house that was a majority of the time used just for business and not for leisure and living in. I have a hard time believing these things, Greg, because I'm damn near certain they aren't true. And I guess there's no way to really prove yourself right, and there's no way for me to prove you wrong, so it's just, his word versus the other guy's word, but that's just what I believe. And if you do have proof, show me. Don't show me that, you recorded videos in these spots. Show me some proof that most of the time that second house you had was used for just filming and was used as a business location, not a living location. That's all I gotta say, really. If you guys got anything to say, any corrections, anything I missed, anything I should have said, let me know in the comments below. Dislike this video if you don't like me. I don't really care. I'm just some dude on the internet. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I actually have a cool video coming out probably right after this one. That at least I'm going to be filming it right after this one. That I'm pretty excited to be making just because I thought it was just a cool idea I had. So be on the lookout for that, you guys. I don't really care. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Or not. It doesn't really matter. Who cares? This is... Bleh. See ya.